Hi folks, hope you're okay. We're looking at this book, this massive scholarly tomb that atheists have tried to debunk in a pathetic way, but this is an awesome book. Nobody can even debate on the historical resurrection of Christ until they've actually read this book. And we read, I began to wonder whether the reason why a more unified conclusion on these matters eludes scholars is because biblical scholars are ill prepared for such investigation. That is not to say that biblical scholars are not historically minded. Ernest Trollope made a serious attempt to form historical criteria, and even today debates are taking place over what criteria and methods are appropriate for investigating the sayings of Jesus, and the degree of certainty that they may be attained. While these are helpful for identifying potential authentic logi of Jesus and some of his acts, are they the most appropriate for investigating the claim Jesus rose from the dead? After all, criteria for identifying authentic logi are not very helpful in verifying Caesar's crossing of the Rubicon in 49 BC and Augustus' defeat of Antony in 31 BC. What approach would be taken for an investigation involving the historicity of Jesus' resurrection? When writing on the resurrection of Jesus, biblical scholars are engaged in historical research. Are they doing so without adequate or appropriate training? So what Licona wants to do is he wants to write a defense of the resurrection of Christ based on secular methods of history. He writes, Gary Habermas is a professional philosopher noted for specializing in the historicity of the resurrection of Jesus. He served as a director of my master's thesis, which pertained to the historicity of Jesus' resurrection. Habermas has compiled a massive bibliography consisting of approximately 3,400 scholarly journal articles and books written in English, German and French between 1975 through the present, all on the subject of historicity of Jesus' resurrection. He has extensive knowledge of the relevant literature and the major contributors, the positions they maintain and the reasons why they maintain them. I asked Habermas if we are aware of any professional historian outside of the community of biblical scholars who had approached the question of the resurrection of Jesus. He was only aware of a handful who had contributed a few journal articles and one who had written a short book on the subject. At that time he could not recall any treatment by a religious scholar or philosopher who had laid out a detailed philosophy of history and proposed methodology of approaching the question pertaining to the historicity of the resurrection of Jesus. So my PhD is going to be taking Licona a next step further and applying it to the historical quest of Jesus. He applies secular historian methods to the resurrection. I'm going to be applying it to the quest, the historical Jesus. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take secular methods and look at it from a secular historian's point of view of did Jesus rise from the dead.